The Gnome Garden occupies one of the worst tower spots in all of secondary tower history, but being towards the front of the map has some benefits, particularly for a tower that works the way the Gnome Garden does. To begin, this tower has a single gnome who can attack every 5 seconds. When it's able to attack, it will teleport to the furthest enemy along the path within its range and cast a spell on it. The first upgrade adds additional gnomes to the tower, who each are on their own separate 5-second cooldowns. When only one target is in range, the gnomes will not all attack it at the same time. Each gnome takes about 2 seconds to execute its animations. The other gnomes, if their attack is cooled down, will wait for those 2 seconds before attacking the enemy themselves, going one by one. But if new enemies walk into the range, they will freely attack them instead without waiting for those extra 2 seconds. The gnomes' attacks consist of 2 options, which expand into 5 options as the player upgrades their second skill. Each of these options has a random chance to be the spell that the gnome uses on its target. For example, the base tower will either use a pickpocket spell or a polymorph spell. The pickpocket has a 90% chance to occur and takes 1 to 3 gold from the enemy. Just like Assassins and Blackthorn, the pickpocket cannot trigger again on the same enemy if 30% of its bounty has been obtained already. The gnomes will simply not target the enemy with that spell anymore. Then, the polymorph has a 10% chance to trigger. This version of polymorph instantly gives the bounty for the targeted enemy and transforms them into a bunny. Bunnies cannot be clicked to death, but they do give an additional 7 gold when slain. This is sadly far more profitable than the pickpocket option, and just better overall. Upgrading to tier 1 of the skill adds a poison attack, which deals 10 damage every 8 frames for 90 total frames, which amounts to 11 ticks for 110 damage. Adding this skill to their arsenal shifts the probabilities of each spell. Pickpocket goes from 90% to 70%, Poison goes from 0 to 20%, and Polymorph remains at 10%. Pickpocket also steals +1 gold now, for a total of 2 to 4. The next tier adds a teleport spell, which sends a unit back by 50 nodes. The same unit can only be teleported 2 times total. This shifts the probabilities to 60% for Pickpocket, 10% for Poison, 20% for Teleport, and 10% for Polymorph. Pickpocket now steals 3 to 5 gold. Finally, the third upgrade for the skill introduces an insta-kill, which just blows up the targeted enemy in an explosion. Unlike Polymorph, this does not give the extra 7 gold, making it arguably worse. The probability is 10% for both the Polymorph and the insta-kill individually, which is 20% total. So upgrading this skill does increase the chance of getting an insta-kill on one gnome attack. In terms of expected value, keeping the tower unupgraded means you have a 10% chance every 5 seconds per gnome to get the Polymorph, or 1 in every 10 attacks, for a 50-second average. With 3 gnomes, that's 50/3 of a second, or 16.67 seconds. At max power, a 20% chance to get one of the insta-kills means an expected value of 1 in 5 every 5 seconds, or 25 seconds. With 3 gnomes, that averages out to an 8.33 second cooldown on an insta-kill, which half of the time also earns an extra 7 gold. The footage of this tower was gathered in the mod for Kingdom Rush 1, where the tower isn't available normally, but even in the base game, upgrading it properly in spite of its weird positioning will help keep the gnomes from coming up short.